so many of their players are all back. It was a young team a year ago for them as well, and but you can start to see their recruiting show up on the field. Their speed is dramatically improved all over the field, from special teams, defense. They got some nice young speed on their team, and they got some really quality athletes throughout the team. And quarterback situation, the Padron, and I think that's how you pronounce it. Kyle, he's a really good football player. Started the last half of the year last year, and big and athletic, and he's got a nice arm. So they seem to have stabilized that quarterback position, particularly in that offense. It's very important, obviously. And yeah, they won some games last year. They got some confidence, and they're a much improved football team. Halston's in his fourth year now, and he's just matured. Like anybody, when they get to their fourth and fifth year, they're better players, and because they grow and learn. And Halston's lost weight, and so he's light, so he's moving as quick as he's ever moved. He's taken on a good leadership role, so he's just become more consistent and a dependable guy, and it's been great to see because he's a great kid, and Chima as well. Both these guys are in their fourth year, and they're veteran guys. They understand the process. They're both very mature. They're good leaders, and I couldn't be happier with those two guys and how well they've improved. No, probably not. We think Mike Ledgerwood will be back, and so I think we're hoping he'll play. And again, CJ will, as long as he continues to have a good week of practice, he'll rotate in and play more. He did some good things this last week, but there's some big critical mistakes he made, and we got to get those things cleaned up. We just need that consistency out there, and we're just hoping he keeps growing, and I think he's going to, but he'll definitely play. Yesterday I went to the Spokane luncheon, and it was a great turnout. We had 80-some people there, and I go through about 20 to 30 cut-ups, and I show some of the the good things, the not so good things we're trying to do. Here's not what's happened. Here's things we've improved on. I kind of give it a gamut of things, and on those clips I showed the good things, some of the things CJ did. And some of the things he made mistakes on. A couple bootlegs where he completely lost his guy coming out in the back end, and they're wide open. One time he got confused on a drop and gave up a touchdown because he didn't drop in the right area. So those are pretty big mistakes. And, it's one of those deals where we got to get him cleaned up. And once we get those things cleaned up, he'll play more and more. But we can't be giving up big plays. Christoph practiced for the first time yesterday. He looked pretty good, just a little bit of soreness. So we're hoping that he can practice, obviously, the next 3 days. And if he does, and then hopefully we'll get him in that ball game. And I explained this yesterday to the luncheon crowd. I've been on that other end the majority of my coaching years. My very first year at Eastern Washington, my first game, we played Oregon State and lost him by 2. They had, Ocho Cinco and Chad Johnson, I guess, and Hushmanzada, and they ended up going 11-1 and beating Notre Dame bad in the Fiesta Bowl. We lost to them by 2. We had a field goal block to beat them. They didn't feel very good about that win, I'm sure. A year later, we went back to Connecticut when Randy Edsall, who's still there in 2001, I think he was in his third year rebuilding their program. And at Eastern, we had 530 yards and beat them by 3 touchdowns. And then the year after, we went to Idaho, where Tom Cable was the coach when they were at 1A, and we beat them as well. So I've been in those situations and risen up and beaten those schools with more scholarships and quote lesser levels. And you know what? The bottom line is if you got a mature 1AA program, kids that have been in your system for 4 and 5 years, like I've been saying since I've gotten here, you're going to be a competitive football program. And when you got a competitive 1AA program against a potentially youthful 1A program, those 1AA guys are better. They're better because they're experienced, they're mature, they know how to handle tough situations, they've just been through more. That's what happens in a lot of the cases. Now, the Oregon State team we played was they were a pretty mature team, but we rose up. They took us probably too lightly, obviously. But Randy Edsall was rebuilding his deal there at Connecticut, and we were a pretty mature team at Eastern Washington, and we led the nation in offense that year, and we rolled through them like nothing. So Texas Tech is a good football team, and they ended up fighting themselves back into that ball game and lost a close one at Texas Tech. So, I don't know that that's a slow start. I just think that was a tough game on the road for them. And then UAB is, watching that film, they had a lot of opportunities. I think UAB missed some opportunities. But UAB's definitely got some quality athletes in their program. You can see them moving around out there. And I think SMU ended up beating them by 3 touchdowns, which I think is a pretty darn good win against a solid team. Yeah, he's a good football player. He's big and physical, and he runs the ball very hard. Has great leverage when he runs. He's a big, strong guy that can run low to the ground, and he's a heck of a threat. And I'll tell you, he's a good football player.